Morning, folks. So, some pretty good updates on the vaccine clinics that are coming up. First, I know that all of the residents at Gates Circle got a call regarding their vaccine clinic, which is scheduled on the 27th, so that's good. So they got their initial information, and they're ready in the queue. The Williamsville folks will start getting their calls today. Again, their clinic is on 2-2. Obviously, we have a lot of calls to make here in Williamsville, so they're getting their calls today. Each village in Williamsville has a point person who is calling them. So that person will introduce themselves, and most of you are going to know who it is, and they're going to be with you through the whole process. So, for instance, Christy Seacrest has all the folks in Trafalgar. You'll be getting calls from her in the next few days, and she will actually be your point person to help you with questions and so on throughout the entire process. I can tell you that the big change is initially for both Gates Circle and for Williamsville, we were setting up the clinic so that residents would have to, in specific time slots, come down to either Lunt Hall at Gates Circle or here in Coventry to get their shots on the day of the clinic. We are not going to do that. I repeat, we're not going to do that. What we are going to do at Gates Circle and in Williamsville, the pharmacist is going to come to you. So, on the day of the clinic, Gates Circle on the 27th, starting probably between 9:30 and 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to ask all the residents to just be in their apartments and stay in their apartments until you get your shot, and then you'll get a follow-up visit at about 15 minutes from a nurse to make sure you're doing okay. If you're having any reactions, that's standard protocol right now through the CDC and the Department of Health. So starting at Gates Circle on the 27th, again, a pharmacist and one of our staff members who will be with that pharmacist all day. I think we're getting 2 pharmacists there, so we'll split up the building. They will have a cart with them. They will have your vaccination administration record, that form that we sent out or gave to you in the last couple of days, filled out, because you're going to bring it down to the front desk soon if you already haven't. The pharmacists will have that. They will sign off on the area that they need to sign off on. They will come into your apartment. They will give you the shot, which takes a moment, and they will move on. Within about 15 minutes after that, you will get a visit from one of our staff members who's a nurse. That nurse will check you out, make sure you're doing okay, make sure you're not having a reaction, and then you will be done. How great is that? And the second shot will be basically the same thing down the road. So you will not have to come down at Gates Circle to Lunt Hall. You won't have to worry about a time frame. We're going to come to you. Williamsville, your clinic, of course, is on February 2nd. The same thing. On that day, the clinics, the pharmacists will probably get here between 9 and 9:30. They're bringing 6 pharmacists to us. Obviously, we have a big building here in Williamsville. So, we've split up the building. Like I said, each neighborhood has their own point person from a staff perspective, person you'll be getting phone calls from. That person will accompany a pharmacist, and that pharmacist and that person will start probably 9:30, 10 o'clock, and they will go through your entire village, door to door, and vaccinate you in your apartment. Same thing, knock on the door. We'll hopefully already have your vaccination administration record filled out and ready. The pharmacist will sign off. We'll give you the shot. The pharmacist and the staff member will move on. You will get a visit within the next 15 minutes from a nurse to make sure you're doing okay. I will continue to go over this as we get closer to the dates, but in Williamsville, you will not have to come to Coventry Hall to get your shot. Now, I preface this by saying, for the folks that live in the main building, we are going, for everybody that lives in the main building, the pharmacist and a staff member are going to go apartment to apartment. For folks that live in Lexington, however, we're not going to be able to do that. So the Lexington Village folks will have to come to the main building. They will come to Coventry Hall for a clinic. They will get their shots in Coventry Hall. The folks in Lexington, you will hear from your point person today or tomorrow or the next day, questions asking if you're going to get the shots. We don't have an exact time frame for that clinic yet. We will let you know. It's going to be sometime the morning of the 2nd. So again, for all of the residents that live in the main building of Williamsville, on the 2nd, you do not have to come to Coventry Hall. We are coming to you. All you need to worry about is being in your apartment that day, waiting for us to come to you with the shot. Now, what we're not going to do is schedule a time. We're saying we're going to be at your apartment at 10, your apartment at 10:05, your apartment at 10. It's just simply not going to work like that. Logistically, it's too difficult. But in order for us to make this process as easy as possible for our residents, we have decided to go apartment to apartment. So what you don't have to worry about is coming down to Coventry Hall, getting here on time, anything like that. Just be in your apartment during the day. We will come to you. We will administer the shot. Somebody will follow up to make sure you're doing okay, and then you can go about your business of the day. How great is that? Lexington, come to the main building. We will have it all set up for you. You'll come into Coventry. We'll have an area after you get your shot that you will sit in for 15 minutes and be observed by a nurse, and then you'll be done as well. And the same thing will apply to the 2nd clinic, which will be 3 weeks after that. So I'm sure there'll be some questions, and that's why we're putting it out there now. For the folks in Williamsville, when you get the calls by your designated staff representative in the next few days, they will be there to answer questions for you about this process. One of the questions that has come up in the last couple of days has to do with the vaccine administration record form that was sent out or given to you under your doorway with the memo this week. I know that we gave an earlier one out about 6 weeks ago, and then Walgreens said, don't worry about that one. Here's our updated form. Use the updated form. Use the one that you were given this week. Discard the other one. Once you have it completed, please bring it to the front desk, and we will take care of it from there. If you have any questions about that form or this process, certainly when you get a call this week from the staff member, feel free to ask them. If you need at any time period to ask any questions, you can call the front desk at either site, and we'll hopefully get you the answers to the questions that you have. I know that's a lot of information. Again, stay in your apartment on the day that you're scheduled for your shot. We are going to come to you. Going down my list. Secondarily to that, in assisted living, visitation has started again. We can do visitation for assisted living. It's distance visitation just in the main lobby. So anybody who wants to visit somebody in assisted living, you'll have to go through the assisted living folks, the staff members. I'm sure that the staff members there are reaching out to family members and friends and telling them that the process has begun again. So that's obviously a good thing for our assisted living folks. Skilled nursing, still no visitation, simply because we haven't passed that threshold that we need to pass for having visitation again beyond when we have no cases for residents and staff. What we don't know at this point is, after residents and staff members have received their second dose, which for skilled nursing and staff members is only 2 weeks away, how does that affect visitation on an ongoing basis? How does that affect visitation for people who are actually coming onto the health center? Technically, all those residents would be vaccinated, and we will have the ability to vaccinate new residents as they come into the skilled nursing setting. We have not gotten any direction from the New York State Department of Health about how, what the protocols are going to be for opening up visitation within a health center, skilled nursing, or assisted living setting to on-unit, in-person visitation. I'm sure that's going to come, but we just haven't gotten any direction yet, so we're just going kind of with the ongoing direction there. More to come on that. Lastly, what we're hearing right now here is that residents, and this is just in Williamsville that I'm hearing, are starting to ask staff members if they've gotten their vaccine or gotten their shot. And I'm asking the residents not to do that. I hate to say it's none of your business, but unfortunately it is none of your business. And the staff members have been instructed not to tell you whether they've gotten their shot or not. It's, under HIPAA regulations and all the other regulations that are out there, staff members aren't going to discuss it with you, okay? We are pushing very hard for the majority of our staff members to get their shots, and the majority of our staff members will get their shots. Not everybody is going to get them, and that's a personal choice issue that we're going to have to deal with and live with, and it's a reflection of society as a whole. So please, residents, do not ask staff members if they got their shots. They have been instructed not to tell you. Circling back, vaccine clinics. First one, 27th of this month at Gates. First one in Williamsville, the 2nd of February. For independent residents at Gates and in the main building at Williamsville, we're coming to you. So on the dates of those clinics, you don't have to worry about gathering anywhere else. For Lexington Village residents, you will have to come to the main building. I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions. We're going to continue to go over this. I'll be back here on Friday. Until then, my email is rwallace@echa.org. Thank you.